Actifio offers a replication process, and replication process not only at DB level. So this replication, like it could be at VM level or a file system level or a SQL or Oracle, the many levels. I'm just talking about Oracle now. So using this, so as we discussed about earlier, say Actifio appliance, which is in your premises or maybe in cloud, and you can have this Actifio appliance, right? And you can have the similar Actifio appliance you can maintain on the DR side as well, along with your primary. It is associated or attached with your primary database, and you can have one more appliance on the DR as well, right? And you can replicate the data using this Actifio replication techniques. You can intelligently, you can maintain your retentions, and you can replicate the data, and you can even perform the log replication. You can enable to replicate the logs and keep the log copies, and for some more additional retention on the DR, right? So these all things requires, and just a GUI, and you just need to enter a couple of details, source and target, and just click and save it, and your replication is ready, right? And you don't need to worry about and whether this logs are really applying or not, because which is completely a jobs based, and you can able to see this. If jobs are failing, you can able to quickly monitor it. You can able to quickly understand the jobs are failure, okay, and you can able to take a preventive action immediately, right? And you don't need to spend a lot of time on rebuilding the data guard environments multiple times. If the recovery is doing something wrong, and the data guard environment, there is a corruption issue, or maybe there is a log gap issues which we could not able to find, you need to spend a lot of time on your incremental backups and all this stuff. You need to maintain a separate, maybe a pool of DBS to deal all these situations. You can avoid using this Actifio replication, enabling the Actifio replication, right? So it is not, and the beauty is actually does not require any storage or a vendor license, as the data is sent from the Actifio appliance to the another appliance. It eliminates the licensing as well. And we do support when we are actually sending data in the form in the replication, and we do support encrypting the data with AES 256 encryption standards, and we follow all security standards. Will guarantee you that your data is surely secured between the appliances, right? So let us see what replication methods Actifio is offering. And Actifio is offering the two types of replication methods, which is the StreamSnap replication and Dedup Async replication. The simple difference, and go with a StreamSnap replication, and if you have a high bandwidth capacity between the appliances, right? As I mentioned in the previous slides, your primary appliance and the DR appliance, and you can enable a logs replication or maybe a backups replication to the DR appliance using these two replication techniques. Either it is a StreamSnap or a Dedup Sync, right? So when you are going with a StreamSnap replication, right, you just to set up SLA to replicate data using the StreamSnap on the primary appliance level. So the moment you done this, and the second step, your data is getting replicated directly from the local snap pool to the remote snap pool, right? Because we have two appliances now. On the primary side, we have one Actifio appliance. On the DR side, we have Actifio appliance. Now your data is getting replicated directly from the local snap pool to the remote snap pool, right? And you can use, the moment it is get transferred to the remote snap pool, again those images are available using Actifio GUI. You can able to view those DR images, and using these images you can perform instant recoveries. It's nothing but you can create a cloned copies as well. Okay, and this is a StreamSnap technology. And whereas other technology, which is a Dedup Async, which is called as a DAR, Dedup Async replication, and you set up SLA like StreamSnap on the primary appliance, and instead of getting the images copied from the snap pool to the remote snap pool, the snap pool images getting copied to the Dedup pool, and it is going to deduplicated and compressed and encrypted. It is going to transfer to the remote Dedup pool, and again, from the remote dedup, we need to rehydrate the data or inflate the data, because it is a deduplicated and decompressed data. So we need to rehydrate the data, put into the snap pool back, right? So now the question is when to choose Dedup and when to choose StreamSnap. And if you have a high bandwidth capacity, if you're able to allow the high bandwidth capacity between the two appliances, that is primary and DR, go with StreamSnap. And if you have a concerns about the bandwidth and you don't have that much capacity on the bandwidth, go with a Dedup Async replication, right? So, but when you're going with a StreamSnap replication, the images will be available more immediately onto the remote appliance, because you're sending these images from snap pool to snap pool in a high bandwidth mode, right? So you don't need to rehydrate the data when you're using StreamSnap, right? You don't need to inflate the data basically from Dedup. When you're using a Dedup, you have to inflate the data on the remote side from the Dedup image to the snap pool, and it needs some time trying to rehydrate the data or inflate the data, which is decompressed or which is deduplicated. But even here also, once the dedup image is actually on the appliance, target appliance side or DR appliance side, which is available on the snap pool on the DR, and you can use that images as like a same how we are using instant recoveries on the primary side, how we are using the images for instant, you can use the similar way.
Thank you for joining us for another YouTube Tech Tip video. If you like the content you're seeing on this channel, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you will be alerted to any future content.